that is like the ultimate bucket list for me, to have a song of my own and a movie of my own. And yeah, this is not a bad one to have it on. So.
Hey guys, I'm Jenna Bush from SYFY here on the black and yellow carpet in Hollywood for the premiere of Bumblebee. Let's hear what the cast and crew has to say about the latest film in the Transformers franchise. So, we've got a female Transformer. Tell us everything about Shatter.
Oh, she's bad. She's fierce. She's powerful. She's the boss in every way possible, and I think she puts folks in their places. She keeps things together.
I heard that you were really interested in doing an adventure story with a girl. Can you tell us a little bit about the process here?
Yeah, there was something Spielberg said back in 2007 when he was promoting the first Trans movie. He said that he loved the idea of a boy in his car. And I remember my first car. I remember the first time when I was probably 12 and I turned the ignition of my dad's car and how magical and exciting that felt. So I really wanted to tap into that and tell the story of a girl in her car. And it began with that simple idea. And the fact that I got to do that on this giant scale and then play with robots was amazing.
One of the really exciting things and hard things is that audiences don't generally allow a younger person to be a flat-out hero. They usually give that to the older group, you know? And to pull that off with Haley, I think, was great. I mean, she really pulled it off, but that was really, you know, a lot of work to go into that, and as we approached it, and so it was really exciting to try something like that.
And this is a more character-focused, sort of smaller film. Can you talk a little bit about why you guys decided to do that?
Yeah, I think it was, you know, it goes back to Christina's script and Travis's direction. Travis grew up with them. You know, so for him, it was a sincere love. It wasn't something, oh, let me educate he had already done movies in his head when he was a kid. And I think that was kind of the key was, you know, they put the soul back in the machine.
And tell us a little bit about what you thought about this being set in the 80s.
I'm such a fangirl for anything that's a period piece. Like, 80s are just so romanticized, the hair, the clothes. Like, I throw like 80s, 70s disco parties all the time just because I wish I could be dressing up like it's not 2018.
It was so much fun. They kept changing it, so I just every day had a new 80s hairstyle. I used a full can of hairspray. I had one of those sheets that they'd put over me in the trailer so they could just douse it. But because it was really windy while we were filming too, but it was so much fun. Just everything to do with the makeup and the blue eyeshadow. It was so much fun. I loved it.
You know, my hair was a little embarrassing, but you know, yeah, it was all good. It was all good. It was more astounding to watch the way that this crew did special effects, because they literally blow stuff up. That's not a computer blowing stuff up. I mean, they really blow a lot of things up, and that was terrifying and fun.
I mean, it was pretty awesome because I've never had the opportunity to work with so much special effects and editing before. So getting to see how all this stuff is done is really awesome.
Did you get to do any stunts?
I don't know if you call them stunts because they did involve a lot of special effects. There's a car chase scene. I'll just call it a stunt to make it seem cooler, but yeah, and what's cool about the car chase scene is after stunt, I barf, so that's a great detail to it that I don't know if many people like to see, but...
So when you were writing this, knowing what the previous films were like, what were you sort of bringing in as far as direction for big scenes and big action scenes?
I mean, I wrote what I could, and then obviously, like, there's so many people go into making these things. Travis was amazing, and it was really great being able to work with him, and I think he and I saw very much in line with one another. And then, of course, there is a whole team of awesome people and choreographers and explosion specialists who do the fun stuff. But honestly, a lot of the set pieces are largely similar to what they were in the script, so it was really, really fun. I mean, you can't ask for a better, you know, box of crayons to play with.
Well, there's been a lot of really positive reaction to Bumblebee so far, so are you guys thinking about a sequel?
That is up to the audience, but hopefully, you know, I think there's a lot of love left in these characters, and I think you know, we've got it back on track. I know Peter wants his own. Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime. It's like, where's my solo movie? But I don't know. Maybe for the next one we'll get the gang all back together. But for now. We've got a really amazing film that you can take the whole family to, and it's a great Christmas present to share your love and growing up in the 80s with your kids. So.
And I just have to ask you about Triple Changers. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, that was, you know, Travis, you know, just did the Triple Changers, and it was a brilliant move. And he knew the mythology. You know, it was one of those things where it was different visually. And, you know, you've got Angela and Justin. You know, what more can you ask for, you know?
And this is a much smaller movie, much more character-driven. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, I think it's because it started with that. It started with this very personal idea. Charlie is actually based on my two nieces. My niece, Jeannie, who is 6, who's in the UK, and then my niece, Sylvie, who's 12, whose relationship with her dad was really the inspiration for Charlie's relationship with her father. And I think because I had such a personal connection to the character, it meant that even when we were doing the big explosions and set pieces and fights, I always had this kind of core emotional heart that I could come back to that was really kind of my North Star.